What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Son Goku from Dragon Ball Daima, but the mini version, or the kid version. So, when it comes to this show, it's no spoiler or anything like that. It's been shown in the trailers many, many times. If you haven't seen the show yet, they all get turned into kids. Very similar to Dragon Ball GT. Not exactly the same. I'm not going to say any more beyond that. But they do all get turned into children. And, well, this is the version of Goku that ends up becoming a kid. Now, just like the other two figures with Goku and Vegeta, the adult versions, I actually wasn't, looking to buy these. And then I was at Walmart maybe a few days ago. I was taking a look at them, and I was like, huh, these guys actually look pretty cool. I'm not as much of a fan of Vegeta. I'll get that out of the way right now. But I saw them both, and I was like, well, if I'm going to get Goku, which I think looks pretty solid, I'm also going to get Vegeta, and so I got them both. And so, taking a look at the box here, you can see some very nice product shots here of Goku as he appeared in the show as his kid form. Then you have the very nice text here. You have the Son Goku mini from Daima. You have, the Toei Animation logo right there. You have the Dragon Ball Daima logo. You have the Tamashii Nations logo, and the other Bandai logo once again. More nice text here on the side with the Son Goku mini from Daima. You have some more nice product shots here on the side, as you can see here with his staff, his power pole, and then you can see more nice product shots here on the back as well. Looks really, really solid, and I can't wait to show this guy to you guys, because at the end of the day, I'll tell you this right now, I do really like this figure, but there is one glaring issue that I will talk about as we get towards the end of the review that I don't know how I feel when regarding this figure. I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments as well with that. But regardless, the box is really, really good as per usual, and as so, without further ado, alrighty, folks, here we have the SH Figuarts Son Goku as he appeared in the Dragon Ball Daima anime, but of course the mini/kid version. And I gotta say, guys, from a visual standpoint, this guy looks really, really good. I do, one thing you'll see in the comparison is this Kid Goku's head is bigger than regular Goku's head, the adult Goku's head, which makes sense given the fact that they really sort of went with this more chibi style look for all of the kid versions of all the characters that we know and love. But at the end of the day, it does look a bit funky when you compare them, but it does look really, really good, and it represents what we saw in the show quite well. So taking a look here, you can see the very nice face here. Looks really, really good. The very nice classic Goku smile. Looks really solid there. You see the hair looks really, really good overall. You can see the nice power pole accessory, which I'll show you guys here in a few. Nice color on the gi, obviously matches the adult version. Nice on the shoes as well. The shoes are a bit different because obviously he had to change shoes because his regular ones don't fit anymore. You can see the very nice details all around. It's nothing crazy, but it looks really, really solid given the fact of how small this guy is. I mean, you can see how, you can see exactly how, he's really tiny, and you'll see how big he is in comparison to, like, adult Goku and adult Vegeta. But overall, when it comes to the visuals of this guy, I think he looks really, really solid. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do our size comparisons. So we are going to set little mini Kid Goku off to the side here. Alrighty, first things first, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. As you can see, he's really, really small. You can see he is about the size of Magnus' leg here, and you'll see that when we compare him to other figures as well. So we're going to get this out of the way. Alrighty, guys, here he is with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima mini/kid Vegeta as well. Now, this obviously will be the next review that we're going to end up doing. As you can see, these two scale together quite well. They are about the same size. Now, obviously, being adults, Vegeta is shorter than Goku. But in the show, when you look at both of them in their kid versions, they are both about the same, if not the same exact height as one another. So this scale works really, really solidly. Speaking of Vegeta, here he is with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima Vegeta, or the adult version of Daima Vegeta. As you can see, these two scale quite well together, but obviously you can see that these two would have never scaled together like this in the first place, because there was never, I don't think there was really ever a moment where there was Kid Goku and just adult Vegeta. But what you can see is Goku is about the size of Vegeta's leg, which can give you an idea of how big Goku is in comparison, or the adult version of Goku is in comparison to the kid version here. And as obviously we are talking about Goku, here he is with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima Goku, the adult version. As you can see, like I told you, just like with Vegeta, he is about the size of Goku's leg. And so at the end of the day, this is about the size disparity that you can expect from this figure when you're looking into buying this figure. So overall, this scale is very, very nice, but at the end of the day, yeah, you can see the relatively large size difference between these two. Alrighty, folks, and it's time to get into the articulation. And what I'll tell you this right now, there is benefits and drawbacks to this guy being so tiny. First off, he's actually well articulated, all things considered, given how small he is, but the fact of his small size also hinders him, and particularly in his legs. Because his legs are so small, and because he is such a small character, like a small figure, you can't really get some dynamic ground poses because his legs don't go that far, and because they don't bend all that much, especially given the fact that Goku has, like, the little lower part of his gi below his belt. It makes it so that even though you can get some nice poses out of him on the ground, you will benefit most from this figure when you have some sort of a stand, especially like those aerial poses that you see on the back for the product shots on the back of the box. So just want to get that out of the way. Again, not to say that this guy isn't well articulated. You'll see that here in a second. I'm just saying that when it comes to the articulation, ground poses are going to be a little bit more tough to defend, just given the fact that he is so tiny. So taking a look at the head here, he is on a ball joint, same at the base of the neck, and then you have one at the top of the neck. So you get the full 360. You can go up and down, and then there's his body's gonna come apart there because that's part of the gimmick here. But full 360 up and down. You can do the little side to side, little wiggle waggle. Arms to do a full 360. They have butterfly joints, which are actually pretty nice given how small he is. You have about 90 degrees at the elbow, and then you have a rotation at the elbow, and then you obviously have ball joint wrists as well. You can do a full 360 at the waist, but sometimes the belt doesn't like to plug in all the best, and so you find yourself like unintentionally separating the bottom half of his body. The legs can kick forward about that far. They can kick back about that far. They can bend here at the knee about 90. They have a rotation here as well towards the top near the thigh, and then you have ankle rocker pivot because there's a ball joint here in the foot, so you can go forward and back. And then the toes are also articulated here in the front as well. So overall, when it comes to the articulation, like I told you, he's not actually bad. It's just because he's so small, despite the fact that obviously it's accurate, right? Given the fact that he is Come on. Given the fact that he was turned into a child in the show, it just hinders his ground posing just due to the fact that he is so small. But again, well articulated, it's just compromised due to the compact nature of how small he is. Alrighty folks, and here is all of the accessories that he comes with. Now, to take a look at the first accessory is going to be the power pole that he actually has in the back of him right now. So to get this on, I wasn't the biggest fan of this, but you're supposed to remove the head, and then you can essentially finagle it through the arm and over the neck like this. And then that's how you get it on. But taking a look at the actual power pole holder here, it does look really, really good. It's just, it's a nice plastic. It's just, it's bendable. It's meant for that. But I don't know. I just can never get this in the position I necessarily want it to be. But it does look really, really good. And it's very accurate to the show. I really do like how this looks. And you can also remove this so that when he's like holding the actual power pole, that it looks like it's obviously not there. So this is really, really cool. So again, to put it on, I just do this. And then you just put it on like so. You just sort of push it, squeeze it down like this, and then you can put his head back on with the ball joint, and there you go. You have his power pole nice and neat on his back as it appeared in the show, and it does look really, really good. And I really do like for the show, by the way, how they brought back the power pole. It, really accentuates the Kid Goku-ness of him because he used it so much. But the other accessory is very similar to Adult Goku. He does come with a new flowy, when he's, charging his ki or using a ki blast, Kamehameha or something like that, he has a new, bottom half of his gi, which is really, really nice. And the same thing with the head. He does have a more flowy hair piece so that you can get those fighting poses off, midair poses, ki blast poses, anything like that. So it does look really, really good, and it's nice to see that, they're sort of carrying the same accessories from the adult version to the kid version. He also comes with 3 very nice faces. So he comes with this yelling face. Very, very nice. It looks really, really good. I really do like the paint and the detail on that. Looks fantastic. Same with the sort of looking to one side, gritting teeth face. It looks really, really good as well. And then you can see the very nice sort of I'm ready to fight, with a very, stoic expression here. Looks really, really good as well. I really like how the faces look. He does also come with his power pole, which is just a red stick. It does look really, really nice. Can't really complain, and I'll show you how he holds it here in a second. And then he also comes with holding hands. So he comes with a pair of these holding hands for the power pole itself. So you can see both of those. They're just the same fists, just with holes in them. And then you can see he comes with the fighting pose hands that he usually has as well. Those are it's really hard because he's tiny, so these hands are tiny, but you can kind of see them there. And then he also comes with a pair of, sort of more open fist ki blast or fighting pose hands right there. You can see them as well. So to do all the accessories, I'll show you. So the head on his body is the same as this. So all you have to do is remove this, and then you can take one of his faces, and then you have some peg holes there, right? You have peg holes there, and then you have pegs here on the back of the face, and all you have to do is just this. Just push that on, and then here you can take the head, and then obviously the top of the hair, there are pegs right here along the forehead, and then you have peg holes here, and then you can just peg that right in, and boom. Same technology for the same process, excuse me, for the head on his body as well. So this looks really, really good. I do really like how that looks. And then to do the staff, so very similar here with any SH Figuarts. So you just remove the hand, but be more careful because he's smaller, so the joints are a little more sensitive, right? And they're more fragile. Then take your hand. Actually, it's the other one because I'm stupid. And just gotta be a little more careful here, a little more delicate because of how tiny he is. Then you can remove this part here on the power pole, and then you can have him hold his power pole like this, and he holds it perfectly fine. And I've had no issues with him holding this. It looks really, really cool. I really do like that you can get this pose with Goku with his power pole. It's just really, really awesome, right? Now to do the I'll show you to do the waist. All you have to do is obviously remove the bottom half, then remove this. Then you can take this, put this on like so, and then well, you can put it on either way. I think this is the correct way right here, if I had to guess. I think, if I remember correctly. It's been a minute. Yeah, that's correct. Then just put the belt on here. And you can do this, and then plug that in, and that looks really, really good. Again, very similar to Adult Goku. I really do like that that is an accessory that they included because it just helps with, posing and stuff like that, especially when we want to take photos. That is so, so cool. So overall, when it comes to the accessories, nothing crazy about them. But he does come with a nice amount of stuff. The main awesome bit that he comes with is obviously his power pole, the sash over his neck and then his back, and the actual power pole itself. So when it comes to the accessories, he comes with a nice variety of accessories that this Goku should come with. And so I have no complaints with the accessories. I think that they did a wonderful job giving him a nice array of accessories. If you just stop falling over. There we go. Now we're good. But yeah. Alrighty folks, so for my final and concluding thoughts on the SH Figuarts Son Goku as he appeared in Dragon Ball Daima, but the mini and kid version of him. Now, the one thing I never addressed in the review is the price. This guy costs $40. And the only extra accessories that he comes with are really the power pole. Everything else is very similar to the adult version of Goku. And for me, when you're looking at the plastic count, there's just such a massive plastic count difference between obviously tiny kid Goku, and I'll say this with Vegeta. I'll repeat this in the Vegeta review because you might not have seen this video. But when it comes to this, it's just like there's such a huge plastic count, especially when this version of Goku is about the size of Goku's leg, like adult Goku's leg. And when you're charging about $40, $35, $40, close to 40 after tax, it's really hard for me to justify like saying that this is worth that amount of money. Is it worth 40? I honestly don't think it's worth even 35. I think it's more worth like 25-ish, like a deluxe class Transformers figure. Now, I do think that Goku and Vegeta warrant a higher price, just given the fact that they are bigger. They have more plastic in them. They come with basically the same amount of accessories. And so when you're comparing both of these, I just honestly think that this isn't necessarily worth the $35 to $40 you're going to be paying for it. But what does this figure do not well, and what does this figure do well? Well, the one thing that I'll say with the criticism with this figure, like I told you earlier, is the ground articulation really isn't all that good. Because he's so small, his legs will not bend all that far because they're so tiny, and because of that, your ground poses for dynamic poses really aren't going to be super amazing. You're going to make the most use out of his articulation when you have a stand that he can do his aerial poses in. But other than that, it's not that it's bad articulation, it's just because he's so small, you just lose that posability on the ground because he is so tiny. But other than that, the actual articulation is really good, the details are really good, the paint's really good, the scale's really good. It just looks really, really good overall, and it does represent what we saw in the anime very, very well. However, like I said, the major issue I have is that price, because I just don't think, given the fact that he is so much smaller, that they should have been charging 35 to 40 for this. This is worth like 25, around that ish, maybe close to 30, like a whole 10 or so bucks cheaper, just due to the fact of the plastic count difference between these two, between like the adult version and the kid version. So would I recommend this figure? I don't know. Does he look cool alongside the adult version? Absolutely. Does he represent the character from the anime very well? Absolutely. And how he looked? Absolutely. But for 40, when you're comparing it to the adult version, I don't know. And so out of a 10, it's going to be between a 7 and an 8 because he does do everything that the adult versions do really well. It's just I would lean more towards a 7 rather than an 8 here because of that price, the plastic count difference, and the fact that he just doesn't pose quite as well because he is so much smaller. So yeah, like I said, would I recommend it? I don't know. You make that decision for yourself because at the end of the day, it's hard for me to say yes or no. I mean, if you want them, they are great representations of the characters that we saw. It's just that price really, I don't know. I think it's just worth more like $25 rather than close to 35 to 40. So I did pick mine up IRL. I picked mine up at my local Walmart, so definitely be on the lookout in your local retailers. But I will obviously leave links in the description to Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, as well as Entertainment Earth for this guy if you guys wish to pick this guy up online and don't want to have to go out to buy this guy. But definitely be on the lookout. He should be at your retailers right now. So definitely wish you the best of luck in finding him IRL if you decide to go that route. And so I think that's really it. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.